Hi there, compound fractions now. So compound fractions, scary. Compound means that in the numerator or in the denominator or in both, there is another fraction. So it's like a multi-storied fraction. We have several fractions within a fraction. So here's a compound fraction. 3/4 divided by 4/5. So this line is the main line of the fraction. This whole thing is the numerator, and this whole thing is the denominator of my main fraction. Hence the word compound. It consists of several. How do I approach this? One of the ways is to remember that when we divide by a fraction, we multiply by flipped. So what I do is I take this fraction and I disassemble it into two. That's my numerator, 3/4, and this is my denominator, 4/5. And if I'm dividing by 4/5, I am multiplying by a reciprocal, so I have to flip this. 4/5 becomes 5/4, and I just multiply these. So that will be 3 times 5, 15, 4 times 4, 16. So 15/16. Now another way to do it, and it might not work for you, or it might. See for yourself. The idea here is this compound fraction, I can start shuffling it. My denominator in the numerator is sent down, while my denominator in the denominator is sent up. So shove this in the dungeon and then lift this up, because it's already in the dungeon, the poor thing. So then 3, I lift 5 upstairs, so that's 3 times 5. And then this 4 is shoved downstairs, hence it's right here, 4 times 4. And that becomes 15/16. If it's too complicated, forget it and just disassemble the fraction. But if you try it a few times, you might actually see that this is easier. So in the next example, I'll do it again both ways. So if I have 9/16 over 3/4, so I can disassemble it and do 9/16 times 4/3, because I have to flip this. So 9/16 divided by 3/4 is the same as multiplying 9/16 times 4/3, because I flip this. Or 16 goes in the dungeon, here it is, and 4 is lifted up to the upstairs, if you will. Now you can go the hard way and multiply 9 times 4 is 36, and then 16 times 3 is going to be 48, and then you simplify it. Or look at this, 9 and 3, I can divide by 3, cancel it all together. 9 will turn into a 3, and then 4 and 16 I can also simplify, because I can divide by 4. And then there will be nothing left, just 1 up here. And then 16 divided by 4 gives me 4, and that gives me 3/4. Another example, harder. 1 plus 2/5 divided by 2 plus 2/3. Struggle is real. Let's look at our numerator. In our numerator, I have 1 plus 2/5, so that would be 5/5 plus 2/5 gives me 7/5. 2 plus 2/3, common denominator 3, that turns into a 6. So 6 plus 2 over 3, that's 8. 7/5 over 8/3. What to do from there, you already know. I can do 7/5 times 3/8, or again, 5 goes down, 3 goes up. 7/5 times 3/8, 21/40. And this is it for compound fractions, the light version, because you do not have any variables, you just have numbers. And if you have any questions, let me know. Bye.